This is one of those very sad days. Um, Yesterday was Valentine's Day, and my wife and I celebrated by just spending a lot of lovely time together, having a nice chocolate cheesecake that she made. But the whole day was overshadowed by the fact that our one kitty cat, the male cat, named Justin, is very sick, and he's been deteriorating for the last 2 weeks. We've had 3 trips to the vet so far, and it looks like we're set up to go tomorrow, Wednesday, for the last and final trip. He's been continually losing weight, alarmingly so, and we were shocked when he got down to 6 pounds, and then 5.6 pounds, 5.2, 5.0. This morning we weighed him, he was 4.8 pounds. We feed him constantly, and he was eating voraciously up until about yesterday or the day before. Now he constantly wants food, but when we put it out for him, it's usually, and for him to eat something like a teaspoonful at a time and then stop. He's not in pain, but he's getting so thin and so weak that we came to the decision yesterday that it was time, and my wife booked tomorrow off to spend the day with him, which is nice. And then in the afternoon, after we've treated him about as best we can, we'll drive him to the vet. He doesn't seem to mind going to the vet, so we didn't opt to have somebody come to the house. He's not terrified by the prospect, and the sad thing is that he's always been a very handsome cat and very loving and outgoing, and so even the staff at the veterinarian clinic know him and love him. So it'll be rough on them as well. And a lot of tears have been shed over the last couple of weeks. And I don't know that we can actually spend more time with him than we have. I mean, he's sitting on the bed right behind me right now. But we've held him and cuddled him and slept with him and let him sleep on us and spent hours with him just tucked in someplace close to us while we gently pet him. As we've said our goodbyes. And I think for the first time today, as I was holding him in my arms, I realized that that he was ready. The whole goal here is to not keep him alive as long as possible. That's not really the point. The goal here is to let him go at the right moment so that he doesn't suffer, and it's a gift we give our animals that we don't necessarily afford to human beings, the dignity to leave before you completely lose everything. Now, he hasn't appeared to be in pain, and the thing is that he's still bright and reactive. If I call his name, he looks at me. If I pet him, today will be the first time that he doesn't break out into purring. And he's actually purred a lot more over the last couple of weeks than he's been known to for a long time. He's always purred, but he's always been very, very, very quiet. But now he's been kind of humming and vocalizing under there, so the purring is quite obvious when he's doing that. And I know it's not 100% indication that he's out of pain or entirely happy, but he hasn't shown distress as of yet. But a very good point that the vet made when she called us back on yesterday, was that you don't want to wait until your cat is truly suffering before you make the decision. You want them to you want to get that balance where you're being as accommodating to them and as fair to them and as fair to all concerned around. And I won't lie, I'm going to be very sad, but it's one of those things, that time can be cruel. People live longer than pets, and that's just a thing. I think I'm very empathetic because every time I read in comments that somebody's lost a pet, or I've heard of one of my friends losing a pet, I think back to the previous times I've been through this experience. Not often, but it seems that I'm slated to do this about every decade and a half. And time robs us of these little treasures that we have in our lives, but time also heals a little bit. You never forget, and I still remember my previous cats, but at some point when we're ready, we'll still have one cat left. We'll still have Callie. She's not the same. I mean, she's affectionate, but she's not as in your face, and she always hasn't been front and center in everything. She's less demanding, but she's less giving at the same time. But she's a nice cat. She'll be alone for a little while, but she's getting old. She's about the same age, about a month or so younger than Justin, but at some point in the future, I think when we're ready, we will find another cat to rescue and to give a home and love, and the cycle goes on. I think that's all for this update. I don't seem to post very often, but at any rate, take care, everyone.